What is good, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're talking about what I think is the most exciting part of the 2017-2018 season. Now, we've had incredible games, incredible game winners. We've had incredible performances from incredible players. But that's not the most exciting thing to me. The most exciting thing actually hasn't even happened yet. So you know we got like a month and a half of the regular season before we hit the playoffs, and the most exciting thing is his next month and a half, because we got to the point in the NBA where every game matters. Every game matters. And the Western Conference, we got the top two seeds, which is the Warriors and the Rockets. Well, I guess the Rockets are in the first right now. They're basically competing to see which team is going to finish with the best record in the league. Who's going to be the 1 seed? Who's going to be the 2 seed? Then after that, seeds 3 through 10 are all fighting for their lives. And this is the closest we've ever seen it, or closest in recent memory we've seen it, where the 3 seed could drop out to the 9th seed in a matter of a couple games. Let's take a look at the exact standings. So we got the Trailblazers, the Pelicans, the Spurs, the Timberwolves, the Thunder, the Grizzlies, Nuggets, and Jazz, all fighting for the final 6 playoff spots. You know what that means? That right now, every game until the end of the season matters. And the beginning of the season, you know, game here or there, didn't really matter too much. But right now, every game matters. And the reason why this is so exciting to me, because in my opinion, we got 2 teams in particular that could be in some deep trouble. And the first one is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, it's been, 15 years since the Minnesota Timberwolves have seen the playoffs, and this was supposed to be their year. They get Jimmy Butler, they sign Jeff Teague, they get Taj Gibson. This team is built to make the playoffs, and that's what it seemed like. They were one of the better teams this season, but then Jimmy Butler goes down. Well, basically, it's going to hold them out for close to the remaining of the regular season. And right now, since he's been out, they've been okay, currently on a 2-game loser streak, but they're still at the 6th seed. Not too bad. But let me read y'all their next opponents. Celtics, Warriors, Wizards, Spurs, Rockets, Clippers, Knicks, 76ers. 7 out of their next 8 games are against teams that are playoffs, against good teams. Now Timberwolves Nation has been pretty upset with Wiggins, because since Jimmy Butler has went down, Wiggins hasn't really stepped it up to where they need him to be to continue to keep their spot. It's so close that if they lose a certain amount of these next 8 games, they can drop from the 6th seed to not making the playoffs. They have to win out this streak. They have to win at least majority of these games to continue what they're doing, because we got teams like the Jazz whose strength of schedule is not strong at all. Grizzlies, Pelicans, Pistons, Spurs, Kings, Hawks. Out of their next 6 games, they play against one playoff team. You can probably expect, the way how hot this Jazz team is, they're probably going to win at least 5 of the next 6 games. Now, if the Timberwolves don't win as many games as that, they could drop to the spot where the Jazz is. This is so mind-blowing to me, because the team that has been pretty good this regular season, the Timberwolves, could potentially not make the playoffs. I want to see them in the playoffs. I think it'll mean a lot for the state. They have not had this. I'm rooting for them, but I'm also rooting for the Jazz too, because they lost their best player in the offseason, and they could still make the playoffs. Now, the second team that I mentioned that could be in trouble is actually the almighty Spurs. Yes. The Spurs have been a dominant team for over a decade, where they just have been making the playoffs. Even if their team wasn't up to par as far as talent, they found a way based off basically coaching Greg Popovich. And though they have been okay, they're still sitting in the playoffs. Let me read y'all their schedule. Warriors, Thunder, Rockets, Magic, Pelicans, Timberwolves, Warriors, Wizards, Jazz, Bucks, Wizards, Thunder, Rockets, Clippers, Lakers, Timberwolves, Pelicans. They got like 16 games left, and like 13 of those games are against teams that are in the playoffs. That is an extremely tough schedule. And with Kawhi Leonard not being there, Pau Gasol going down with an injury, we might see the Spurs miss the playoffs for the first time in years. This is incredible to me. And this is why I'm saying this is the most exciting part, because a team that is at the 4th seed could lose 2 games and drop all the way down to the 7th seed. Lose another, they can drop out of the playoff race. Now we got teams like the Pelicans and the Trailblazers that pick the perfect time to get hot. 10-game winning streak for the Pelicans after DeMarcus Cousins' injury is incredible. Extreme shout-outs to Anthony Davis, who did go down with an injury. Now, as I'm recording this video, it's just an ankle sprain. They're getting it checked out tomorrow, so hopefully it's not nothing that's going to keep him out of time. But he played a back-to-back, and in both games, he sprained his ankle. That doesn't sound good to me. And then we got the Trailblazers, who are on the 8-game winning streak. Perfect timing. They're up to the 3 seed. This is incredible to me, and hopefully it is to you. Now when we get to the Eastern Conference, it is similar, but not to the extreme extent in the Western Conference. Again, the Western Conference, you go on a losing streak, you're out of the playoffs. In the East, we basically have our 8 teams in the playoffs. I'm sorry, Pistons fans. I'm sorry, Hornets fans. You're not making the playoffs. I'm sorry. But it's similar to the Western Conference. We got our top 2 seeds, the Raptors and the Celtics. They're basically competing to see who's going to be the 1 seed, who's going to be the 2 seed. But basically between seeds 3 and 8, they're basically just fighting for positioning. The Bucks, the 8th seed right now, they probably won't finish as 8th seed. You feel me? So it's similar in the sense that every game matters, but not like if we lose this, we won't make the playoffs. So this is why the reason I'm saying this is so exciting, because we're at the point where every single game matters in the NBA. Every one of them. We have not seen a race this close in so long. We've had years where the races were close, don't get me wrong, but not when we had 10 teams basically 1 to 2 to 3 games away from the playoffs. Now, just like I said, every game matters, and that even means for the bad teams. The tankathon, baby. We got 8 teams trying to lose their asses off, and well, they're actually pretty damn good at it. So here we take a look at the draft odds if the season were to end today. We got the Memphis Grizzlies, 15-game losing streak. The Tank Masters right now, with projected the 1st overall pick. And then we got the Suns, and then we got 5 teams basically tied for the 3rd odds, the 3rd best odds, which is wild because, I mean, the Sacramento Kings can lose next game, and boom, they got the 3rd pick or the 3rd best odds. You feel me? So all of this matters. That's why if y'all don't know, I got 3 monitors here and then a laptop right here. There's a game on every single monitor for the rest of the regular season. That's just how much this really means. So I've just made this video because this is something I was thinking about as I was watching. Shout out to DeMar DeRozan for his big game and whatever. But I was watching the Anthony Davis game. I watched his team again, and I watched him go down. I was like, ooh, if they lose a couple games with, like, if he suffers this ankle sprain that keeps him out 3, maybe 4 games, and they lose those 3 to 4 games, they can drop out of the playoffs. And they're on a 10-game win streak. This is just extremely excited for me. I'm going to be watching a lot of Timberwolves games, a lot of Spurs games, because I think those are the 2 teams that are maybe in jeopardy of falling the most. Hopefully they don't, because again, y'all know I don't pick favorites. My Bulls are my favorite team, and I'm hoping they lose every game. They beat the Memphis Grizzlies last night. I'm not a fan of that. We got to lose those games. But nonetheless, hopefully y'all did enjoy this. Let me know let me know in the Western Conference, what team do you think is going to make it? Now, you could say this or that, but what I was looking at is basically the strength of schedule. The Spurs are one good team, an amazingly coached team, but I read y'all their schedule. It's going to be difficult for them to play and win a lot of games in their next 16. So let me know in the comment section below. Thank y'all so much. If you did enjoy this type of video, let me know, where I'm basically, it's not really a rant, but it kind of is, but it's not at the same time. Shout out to my Bulls. Shout out to y'all for supporting this channel. Hit it with a like button, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. So I took a picture with Mickey. Somebody asked who's that, and look what his response was. I appreciate it, Mickey. But you remember a couple, maybe 5 years ago, or maybe 4 or so, the GMs were asked, there's one of these young players in the league, who would you build your team around? They said Anthony Davis. And then last year, they were asked the same question. Everybody said Karl Anthony Towns. And Anthony Davis was like, oh, really? Y'all giving up on me. What is he, 24, 23, 24?
Only 24.
And they already had gave up on him because of his recent injury history. But the guy is still the best player in his age group. Can we agree on that?
I'm taking Anthony Davis over Karl Anthony Towns.
Are you taking Anthony Davis over Giannis? Because that's his only competition right now as far as his age group.
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I would too.
And this be killing me.
He can control games better than Giannis, I think.
Because everybody on Twitter be like, why isn't this player in NBA or MVP discussion? Like, are they playing at the same potential or like the same level that these guys are we talking about?
I'm glad you just said that, Mike.